All right, fam, what's happening, everybody? This is the voice of Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, the founder, and the president of the ONYXCON Foundation, back with another movie review. Have you seen her? Have you seen Furiosa? A Mad Max saga. Let's talk about it. Now, first and foremost, I'm a fan of all the Mad Max films, really starting with the second one. I'm talking all the way back with Mel Gibson. So the first one, if you ever saw it, it introduces you to a crazy world, but it's not really the full apocalyptic experience. It doesn't really go there until Road Warrior. And yeah, that was the classic. That was the classics, right? But since then we got Mad Max came back. Fury Road. Now we got Furiosa, explaining where this badass character came from and giving us a new villain with Chris Hemsworth. Yes, that's Thor, acting a total fool in this movie. I tell you, he was an incredibly horrible villain. I mean, if you don't hate this dude by the end of the movie, you missing the movie. You must have went to sleep, because he gonna get on your nerves. He gonna really get on your damn nerves. All right. Now, spoiler free. Let me just say I did enjoy the diversity that I saw in this one versus the first Fury Road. Because look at this picture right here. I mean, even his crew. There was a black guy in there. There was an Indian dude. There was another Indian guy in the movie. And I noticed a lot of other black characters in the wasteland, and I felt that was appropriate. It's Australia. Okay, first and foremost, honor the original Australian indigenous peoples. Secondly, honor all the diversity of people who've been coming there for ages and are there right now. You've got tons of different Asians, Africans, everybody living on that continent. Why in some dystopic future would we suddenly disappear? No, and I'm not saying that we weren't there at all in the first one, but it was hard to notice. It was like pepper flakes here and there, you know what I'm saying? But this one, kind of evened it out a little bit more for what I guess you would say most American audience or most of the world would think Australia might be now and in the future based on general demographics. But anyway, this movie's pretty cool. I'm not going to say it's not damn cool. It is. It looks amazing like the first one did. It's fast-paced, it's action, it's hardcore. But there's the part. Yeah, there's the part, the hardcore. Now, I got no problem with gritty, gratuitous, if it's got a proper place, violence. Hyperviolence has its place in this genre. It is what it is. But in being what it is, I've always had a problem as a movie buff and even being somebody working in the biz. How can somebody get pistol whipped with a gun that is like titanium and only end up with cosmetically placed blood splatters here and there on their face? Their eye is not split, their cheek is not split, they don't have a swelling bulge from being beaten and all of what would be, more realistic. Now, it's all fantasy, and I only want to deal with fantasy generally, but the thing is, you stretch my mind in other really horrible torture scenes and make my mind wonder what the hell's next or what else I might have to see in this mug. But then when it comes time for one of the main characters, I'll say, see, I'm spoiler free up in here, you know what I'm saying? To get the just due, they don't get the same, because it's like, it makes me wonder, is there a contract of I gotta stay pretty no matter what happens in this movie? Okay, you're not going. We're not putting on no prosthetics to have my character with a split open skull or maggots crawling on them and stuff. Yeah, there's a scene with some maggots. Be pre-warned. One of the most graphic maggot scenes I've seen in a long time. Okay, there's some stuff up in this thing for you. I'm here to tell you. Okay, but no, I'm just saying, if you gonna go there, can we save the best for those who deserve it in the plot? I mean, but anyway, only my folk who done seen it gonna really be laughing and hitting the comment button like, yes, feel me. I'm right there with you. Hell yeah. I know y'all gonna feel me. So anyway, not saying it's not a great film. Don't get me wrong. Because some of y'all, that's all y'all want to hear. Y'all don't want to really hear commentary or artistic interpretation or analysis from people who actually do this or in the biz or have any perspective as a writer, etc., and all the other things I do. But I'm telling you, I would less can be more. And I'll tell you what else I would like. You don't have to have monologues come invade a film like this. What am I talking about? I'm saying there are moments in this movie where it got way too talky. And I'm saying talky in that poetic way where you think you're being brilliant and giving us some really interesting stuff that we all need to hear and like, I don't know, maybe you want to be quoted in some college courses someday from certain monologues in this film. But guess what? This just ain't that type of movie. I'm sorry, it's not. It never was. It never was meant to be. Mad Max is a psychoanalytic about the worst that could happen. It's beyond cyberpunk as a genre, and I love cyberpunk. All right, cyberpunk you still have cities, you still have systems of infrastructure and governance. This is complete anarchy and total psychosis. So it's more like watching, or the original films were more like watching the rest of nature. We're all part of nature. But I'm saying when you're watching prey stalk its prey, and a predator stalk its prey, and and the predator who thinks they're gonna always win, and then the prey fights back because the prey itself is a predator, and all that type of thing. That's the kind of world this is. And that's the kind of movie I aim to see when I go see a Mad Max movie. I don't need you to try to explain bad behavior and even do reflective analysis on the hero and try to make them out to somehow be as twisted as the worst villain, when in actuality, no. It makes me wonder what's going on in the mind of the writer. Like, what? Are you trying to explain some of the worst human atrocities to say that, we're all like that, we just don't act on it? No. Some people are not assholes. Some people are not that kind of crazy. We may all be in the mad world, but we're not all crazy the same way. We're not all going to do the same thing. Stop trying to project on their characters and the audience. Yes, I said it. I got an issue with that. And I see it in a lot of things when it comes to these big budget films with these super mega villains and heroes. And that has a lot of effect on the general cultures, because people leave movies with thoughts and they sometimes quote these things and everything. Maybe no one will ever quote this, but I know what I mean when I know that a lot of people who are serious movie heads are going to know what I mean about these monologues. There are some monologues in here that were completely unnecessary. And then there was even some, I'm not even going to do that. I said no spoiler, so we're going to leave it at that. I just want to hear what y'all think about it. Still go see the movie. But for the record, I will say I enjoyed Mad Max Fury Road far more than this movie. And I could see myself rewatching Fury Road, which I already have, more times than I would want to ever press replay on this. Not because it's not a great film, but because it kind of drugged me at times when I almost felt like I was going to go to sleep on it. And I don't go to sleep on movies. I just don't do that. But I was feeling that in this movie at times, because it was trying to be so high and mighty on certain parts where it's like, that ain't this type of thing. I don't know why we're going here with all this extra dialogue and the brooding villain who just has so much to say. Man, go to hell and then come back and we're going to put you in hell again for the stuff you've done. Can we just leave it at that? That's just my opinion. Views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of all of ONYXCON, its friends, associates, and sponsors. Go see the movie, y'all. Peace.